I watched a movie just a little while ago. I had it in my Disney VHS collection. And that's called The Black Cauldron. And it's not very well known, or it's a lot lesser known than most of the Disney movies. It has the distinction of being like the biggest box office bomb for Disney. It was a failed movie, apparently. This was at a time just before they made The Little Mermaid, and a couple of years before, and they basically, this was going to be their revival movie. This was after Walt Disney was dead, and they were trying to get the studio back up to that like epic feel. Hey, we release an animated movie every 3-4-ish years, and it's going to be an epic event sort of thing. Things were much different back then. But yeah, it appears that they chose either the wrong story or the wrong creative team to bring it to life. It is not a terrible movie. I actually enjoyed it because of the fantasy elements in it. There's, I got my beefs with that movie. There is a villain in this movie called the Horned King, who wants to seize the Black Cauldron for himself, of course, and what he intends to do is summon an army of the undead from the Black Cauldron and rule the world. Now, he's already pretty much in charge of most of the world, it seems. However, he wants it all, I guess. He wants to bring his army of the dead into the world, and that's cool. Well, apparently our heroes don't think so. But our hero is like a pig keeper kid, but he's a keeper of a pig that has psychic powers, or oracular powers. It's super weird, and they put the pig's head in this bowl of water, and they like pet it in a certain way, and then the pig, from its snout, it causes visions in the water and stuff. It's pretty weird, man. Anyway, this kid's a pig keeper, and it's kind of like that Lord of the Rings sort of thing. The deal is the pig can find the Black Cauldron, and so the Horned King wants to get this pig because the pig can locate the Black Cauldron. Now, the pig keeper hero kid, what's his name again? Taran. He is instructed by his master to take the pig and run and go away, and don't let the Horned King's minions find you, because then the Horned King might find the location of the Black Cauldron. So he's got to keep this pig safe. Immediately fails in that. Within like 2 minutes of movie time, maybe 5 minutes. And the pig gets captured, so he has to go and rescue the pig. And he meets a little furry dude. There's a bard in the movie, but the bard doesn't really do anything. He's more comic relief, and he's like he's supposed to be like an old actor and blah blah blah, and he can sing, and he doesn't really sing at all, or not much. He has his harp, which is supposed to be like magical, I'm guessing, because every time he's talking to somebody, it actually reacts to what he's saying. Like, it'll break a string when he lies about something, or it'll vibrate or something. I don't know, but it's useless. Nothing comes of it. Then the hero finds a magic sword while he's trying to escape from the dungeon of the Horned King. And this magic sword is amazing. The thing will fly around on its own and kill all the enemies, and it's got like rainbow powers and stuff, and the music kicks up, and it's like super epic whenever this sword is on screen. So this kid's a hero because he has this sword. There isn't really any character development in it at all. However, it's an interesting Dungeons and Dragons movie. I liked it because of the fact that, first of all, it's based on a series of books, the Chronicles of Prydain. I think it's Chronicles, but Prydain, the world of Prydain, which is in turn based on Welsh mythology, or so I'm told. And I think that's super cool. It takes some folklore from our own world, makes a little story about it, and kind of makes it into fantasy literature, right? Actually, I'd rather read the books than watch the movie, but I ain't got time to read books anymore, man. Like, books are for squares. We want movies, man. Yeah, the Black Cauldron. So yeah, it's got a bard. It's got a bunch of magic items. The sword, the cauldron. The princess is completely useless in this movie, but she has some sort of an orb that flies around and lights up the dungeon, I guess, because they are in an actual dungeon at one time and have to escape. So that's really all that she does, but she's not even doing it. She has a little thing that floats around, a little ball or whatever it is, and it's a little ball of light, and it flies around and lights things up, and that's really all that character contributes to the movie, other than to be the love interest and not really damsel in distress, but she doesn't do anything, so what's she even there for? Just to be pretty and for the guy to fall in love with her and have somebody to prove things to. And then there's Gurgi, the little, I don't even know what the hell he's supposed to be. Is he an Ewok sort of thing? He's like a little talking forest creature. He kind of looks like an Ewok to me. He doesn't wear any clothes, so he's just like a furry little dude. And he's got like a big mustache. And he's a dumb character anyway. And he's got a really annoying voice. But he's kind of Gollum-ish, really, is what he is. Except he's furry Gollum. But he's a good Gollum. Because he's like this wild man and he wants to help the hero, and he wants to he calls him master, and he wants to help him out and do what his master says so that he'll basically get fed or something. Not really sure how that works, but yeah, the movie's kind of weird. But he ends up he's a coward. He runs away all the time, but in the end he actually sacrifices himself so that the hero can get to the Black Cauldron, or stop the Black Cauldron, stop its magic, or something like that. I'm not even sure how that worked, but anyway, the wild man Gurgi sacrifices himself and saves the day. And so I guess there's a bit of a, there's the whole self-sacrifice for the good of the many sort of thing, sort of message to it. But then he ends up getting resurrected in the end anyway. Oh, and there's witches in this movie. This movie also has some really inappropriate boob jokes, I think, for a kids movie. But it was the early 80s, maybe mid-80s even, 85, 80. I don't know, it was a couple years before Little Mermaid, I think, was 87 or something. Yeah, anyway, it's a pretty good D&D movie, I think. It gives you an adventuring party. You got your hero, his fighter, whatever. Fighter with a magic sword. Then you got your bard. Then you got your princess. I guess you could call her she doesn't do anything. Maybe a cleric. I don't know. Maybe she just never got a chance to use. They never showed her cure light wounds on screen. And you got your wild man. I guess he's a little rogue or whatever. it's weird. It's weird AF, but it qualifies. And it's a fantasy movie. It's a D&D movie. Maybe check it out. It's not as bad as everybody says. Probably not even as bad as I say. Depends what you like. Now, here's a movie I gotta mention is Big Trouble in Little China, for the sole reason that it has a beholder in it. A beholder. And this is like a kung fu movie. Kung fu action adventure comedy movie. And it's got a beholder in it. You play D&D. You know what a beholder is. What the hell is it doing in Chinatown? But it's cool. And, you know, it obviously goes out like a punk as compared to like an actual D&D beholder. But yeah, I guess you could watch the Big Trouble in Little China and maybe get some adventure ideas, or some like, you know, cool like maybe like traps or not so much traps, but fantasy goings on. It's a really good movie. It's a fun movie. It has really nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons, but it's got a beholder. The Sinbad movies. Now, my favorite one of these is The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I do remember this one has a storyline about an amulet, and it has to be assembled from different pieces to create a map to find the location of some powerful artifact. Okay, I don't remember. But you've got an evil wizard that's opposing Sinbad in this quest. You have... what else do we got? I don't even remember what happens in the movie. I know that he has to fight an animated statue of the god Kali, the Indian god Kali. Hindu, rather. What else happens? Jeez. Been so long. The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. I'm pretty sure there's like a... Yeah, I'll have to look it up. I know it's my favorite, though, because it's got Tom Baker, who played Doctor Who for many years ago. He's fantastic as the evil sorcerer. There is a pretty good... actually, I don't remember the specific ones, but I know there's some really spectacular effects by Ray Harryhausen, whose movies always entertain me, and I like the storyline of the Sinbad movies, or not the storyline, but the fact that it's like, hey, he's got a ship, he can sail to any island and go on any kind of adventure. He's just Sinbad the sailor, and it's been played by a different actor in like every single movie. But that's cool. I don't know. But they always had those cool effects. Then, of course, there's Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. Again, this one I think... Eye of the Tiger is the one where the prince gets changed into a baboon and they have to reverse the curse. At least I think that's the one. A good part of this takes place aboard the ship as well. This one, they're pursued by an evil sorceress who is responsible for the curse, I believe, and she's the antagonist in The Eye of the Tiger. What else do I remember about that? Remember there was a giant wasp, or a relatively giant wasp. There is the bronze Minotaur statue that is animated by the evil sorceress. That one's pretty cool. Yeah, the Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. Oh, I believe there's a giant walrus in that too, and that makes it awesome. Now, there's also the Seventh Voyage. Sinbad has a dragon, has a cyclops, has a giant two-headed bird. which is neat, but I'm not really sure what's going on with that one. Oh, and a genie. That one's got a genie. That one's pretty cool. That's a really good adventure. All three of them. The Sinbad movies, I think, are the best. Well, not the best, but are very good for portraying, playing out an entire adventure, an adventure path. I could see this as being a little mini campaign. Each one of these movies, it's like, okay, we got to sail to this island, we got to get this, and we got to get past this, and this. We've got a goal, and then the whole thing could be wrapped up in like a couple of weeks, usually, or I'm assuming. I don't know. And there's a very clear goal, usually. I don't remember what they are. It's been a while since I watched the movies, but I do remember that about them. And I think it fits really well. I think the use of magic is a little lighter in Sinbad movies, but the monsters are always there. There's always monsters. Yeah, but very good example of D&D movies, especially. I highly recommend these movies because I love the Harryhausen effects that's present in all three of the ones I'm thinking of. So yeah, that includes. Here's the big three that you need to watch: The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Even the animated one with Brad Pitt is not bad. It's got harpies in it. It's got like giant creatures and things like that, and Cyclops as well. Yeah, that's a good one. But anyway, Sinbad, perfect. Works for D&D.